There is a moment in every person's life when the universe stops hinting and starts speaking directly. Not in symbols, not in coincidences, in fire. Today is one of those moments. Right now, as you're watching this, two things are happening in the sky simultaneously. And the fact that they're happening on the same day is not an accident. It's a collision, a convergence that astrologers wait years to see. The sun at 7 degrees Aries is touching the exact degree of Chiron, the wounded healer, cracking open the oldest, most protected part of you. And at the same time, a fire trine is blazing between 14 degrees Leo and 14 degrees Sagittarius, lighting up the path forward with a clarity that is almost blinding. Pain and expansion, wound and flame, both, right now, today. And if you've been feeling something lately, a strange stirring like something you buried a long time ago is trying to surface, there is a very specific reason for that. You're not imagining it. The sky is not being subtle. This isn't a gentle nudge or a passing mood. This is a cosmic signal, and it has your name on it. Here's what I want you to understand before we go any further. These two activations together, Chiron and the fire trine, they don't cancel each other out. They complete each other. Because the wound the universe is asking you to face today, that wound is the exact doorway to everything the fire trine is trying to give you. Stay with me. Because what I'm about to break down is going to change how you see everything that's been happening in your life lately. Right now, as you're watching this, you're going to feel something move through you. So let's start with what's already in motion. The sun is sitting at exactly 7 degrees Aries, and it is making an exact conjunction with Chiron, the wounded healer. I want you to really let that land because this is not a comfortable transit, and I don't want to dress it up as if it is. Chiron is the part of the chart that holds your deepest wound, the one that never fully healed, the one you built your defenses around, the one that shaped how you see yourself and whether you believe you're truly worthy of the life you want. When the sun, your core identity, your life force, your conscious self, walks directly into that wound at 7 degrees Aries, the sign of raw, unfiltered beginnings, something happens. The armor comes off. The story you've been telling yourself about why you can't, why you're not ready, why you're too damaged, too broken, too much, or not enough, that story gets seen, fully, in broad daylight. And yes, that can feel like exposure. Like standing in the middle of a room with nowhere to hide. Today you might wake up, or maybe you already did, feeling this strange rawness, an emotional openness you didn't ask for. You might feel tender in places you forgot you were protecting. Maybe an old memory surfaces. Maybe a relationship dynamic suddenly looks completely different. Maybe you feel grief without quite knowing why. If that's happening to you right now, I need you to hear this clearly. That is not a breakdown. That is the activation. That is Chiron and the sun doing exactly what they're meant to do today, cracking the shell so the light can finally reach what's been buried underneath. This transit is asking you one question, and it's not a gentle one. Are you willing to stop treating your pain like a flaw and start treating it like a foundation? Because the people who say yes to that today, not who have it figured out, not who are fearless, but who say yes anyway, those are the ones who are about to access something completely new. And here's what makes this so extraordinary. This isn't just about surviving the wound. This is the setup. This is the ignition point, because what's happening simultaneously in the sky, that's where everything catches fire. The moment of expansion. 14 degrees, Leo trine, 14 degrees Sagittarius. Right now, today, there's a fire trine blazing between 14 degrees Leo and 14 degrees Sagittarius. And I have been waiting to talk about this because this is the part that takes your breath away. A fire trine is one of the most joyful, expansive, generative aspects in astrology. It's the universe aligning two flames in perfect harmony, not forcing, not fighting, just flowing. Pure creative combustion. Leo at 14 degrees is the energy of the heart fully expressed. It's courage, radiance, creativity, the willingness to be seen. It's the part of you that knows, even when you doubt yourself, that you were made to shine. Sagittarius at 14 degrees is the energy of higher truth, expansive vision, the call towards something beyond the ordinary. It's the fire of meaning, of belief, of a life that feels larger than fear. When these two connect in a trine, the message is this: your joy is not a distraction from your purpose. Your joy is the signal, the things that light you up, the ideas that excite you, the moments where you feel most fully yourself. Those are not accidents. Those are not indulgences. Those are divine navigation, the universe speaking to you in the language of aliveness. Here's what's interesting about a trine. Unlike a conjunction that demands intensity or a square that creates friction, a trine is an open channel. It's a gift, yes, but like all gifts, you have to actually receive it. You have to consciously participate in your own expansion. You have to choose to move toward the thing that makes you feel alive, even when every cautious part of you says it's not practical, it's not guaranteed, it's not safe. And because this fire trine is happening on the same day as the Sun-Chiron conjunction at 7 degrees Aries, there's a profound message encoded in today's sky. The wound and the joy are speaking to each other. The place where you've been most hurt is directly connected to the place where you are most meant to shine. The thing that broke you open, that very thing, is the exact entry point for this expansion. Does that land? Because I want you to really feel that. Your wound isn't in the way of your greatness. It is the gateway to it. And here's what I really want you to understand about this trine. It doesn't reward you for having it all together. It rewards you for being honest, for being present, for letting yourself feel joy even when it feels terrifying, even when a part of you is convinced you don't deserve it yet, even when your nervous system has been trained to expect the floor to fall out. Today, the floor is not falling out. Today, the sky is opening. Some people are going to feel this as a sudden, almost inexplicable surge of creative energy, a vision that drops in out of nowhere, a clarity about something they've been circling for months. Others are going to feel it as warmth, a quiet, steady sense that they are exactly where they're supposed to be, doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing. And if that happens to you today, don't dismiss it. Don't analyze it into nothing. That's not wishful thinking. That's your fire trine speaking. But here's the part that requires your full attention, because the wound and the expansion are happening at the same time. That means today has a very specific emotional texture. You're going to feel both things simultaneously, the rawness of Chiron and the radiance of the Leo-Sagittarius trine, both in the same body, in the same day. Here's what that actually feels like. On one hand, the sky is opening, inviting you into more joy, more expansion, more creative fire than you've allowed yourself in a long time. On the other hand, old wounds are surfacing. Old stories about whether you're allowed to have that joy, whether it's real, whether you're worthy of it before you've fixed everything that's broken. I've been sitting with this tension myself today. Honestly, it's like one part of you is being called into the light, and another part keeps whispering, not yet, not you, not until. And if that's where you are right now, I want you to know. That is not a sign you're doing it wrong. That is exactly the initiation. The Leo-Sagittarius trine doesn't ask you to be healed before you expand. It asks you to expand in the direction of healing, to let the joy lead, to trust that moving toward what lights you up is itself a form of medicine. The greatest act of courage today isn't forcing yourself to be fearless. It's choosing aliveness while still in the middle of the ache. So if you're feeling vulnerable right now, if something old is moving through you, if you feel simultaneously cracked open and somehow also strangely hopeful, that is not weakness. That is the convergence. That is the exact intersection of wound and wonder that today's sky is asking you to stand inside of. And the people who can hold both things at once, the grief and the joy, the fear and the fire, those are the ones who are about to become unstoppable. This isn't just a one-day event. It's the beginning of something permanent. Here's what I need you to understand, because this matters beyond today. The Sun at 7 degrees Aries conjunct Chiron is not a fleeting mood. Chiron moves slowly. This activation is seeding something. A new relationship with your own story, a new way of carrying what you've survived. The wound that has defined you is beginning to alchemize into wisdom, into authority, into a kind of power that only comes from having truly moved through something. And the Leo-Sagittarius fire trine, that's not a one-day spark either. It's an ignition. It's the universe firing up the engine of your creative and spiritual expansion in a way that, if you lean into it today, will continue to build momentum for months. The actions you take right now, the permissions you give yourself today, the joy you choose to move toward in this moment, these things are going to stick. They're going to become permanent upgrades to your sense of self and your sense of what's possible. So this isn't the time to sit with it passively. This isn't the time to observe it from a distance and think that's interesting. This is the moment to actually participate in your own becoming, what this means for your sign, where you're being activated right now. I want to briefly touch on how today's sky is going to land differently depending on where you are in your chart. Because while the overarching theme is wound flame transformation, the specific area of your life that's being lit up today depends on where Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius fall in your personal chart. If you're in Aries, this is profoundly personal. This is your body, your identity, your face to the world. The Chiron conjunction is happening in your first house. Old wounds around being seen, being too much, or not being enough are coming to the surface right now. And simultaneously, the fire trine is illuminating your creative power and your highest beliefs. The expansion you're being called into is a more authentic, more embodied version of yourself. For Taurus, the activation is happening in your hidden spaces, your inner world, your private grief, your shadow. And the fire trine is lighting up your home, your roots, and your philosophical foundation. What's being asked of you is to bring the hidden wound into the warmth of understanding and let that reshape how you see home and belonging. Gemini, today's Chiron activation is hitting your community, your friendships, your sense of belonging. And the fire trine is igniting your communication, your storytelling, your ability to reach people. The wound around whether you're truly accepted is being alchemized into a powerful magnetic voice. For Cancer, the activation is in your career and public identity. The wound around visibility and authority is surfacing right now. But the fire trine in your financial and creative houses is signaling that when you stop playing small in public, abundance and joy follow. Leo, this one is deeply yours. The fire trine with Sagittarius is speaking directly to your expansion, your philosophy, your willingness to believe in something bigger. And the Chiron activation at 7 degrees Aries is touching your intimacy, your shared resources, the wounds around trust and vulnerability. Today you're being asked to let your joy be an act of courage. Virgo, Chiron is activating your one-on-one relationships right now. The wounds around love, partnership, whether you're truly seen by the people closest to you, and the fire trine is lighting up your subconscious, your spiritual life, your capacity for deep inner healing. Today's message, your greatest breakthroughs happen in relationship, not in spite of it. For Libra, the Chiron activation is in your daily life, your health, your routines. The wound around worth through doing, around never feeling like enough. and the fire trine is blowing open your social world, your vision, your future. The invitation: stop making yourself small in the name of service and let your joy be contagious. Scorpio, today's Chiron is touching your creativity, your children, your heart, the wound around whether it's safe to let yourself be seen in full color. And the fire trine is igniting your career, your public role, your authority. This is the day your creative fire becomes a professional signal. Sagittarius, Chiron is activating your roots, your family, the oldest wounds, the stories that were handed to you before you were old enough to question them. And the fire trine is happening in your own sign and in Aries, your fellow fire sign. Today, you are the flame. Your expansion is your medicine. Capricorn, the Chiron activation is in your mind, your communication, your early experiences, old wounds around being heard, being smart, being enough. And the fire trine is illuminating your inner life, your subconscious, your spiritual depth. Today is about rewriting the story you tell yourself. Aquarius, Chiron is touching your finances, your self-worth, your material foundation, the wound around deserving. And the fire trine is lighting up your community, your vision, your friendships. Today you're being shown that you don't have to earn the expansion. You just have to let yourself want it. And Pisces, today's Chiron activation is deeply personal, sitting right in your identity, your presence, your sense of self. The wound around whether you're real, whether you matter, whether your existence is enough. And the fire trine is blazing through your career and your philosophical convictions. Today you're being asked to let your presence become your purpose. What you need to do right now, the practical steps. Okay, let me be really direct about what I think you should actually do with this energy. Because it's one thing to understand the astrology, and it's another to actually move with it. First, sit with the wound, not to drown in it, but to actually see it. Ask yourself, what is the oldest story I've been carrying about my own worth, my own lovability, my own capacity to shine? Write it down. Say it out loud. Let it be witnessed, even if only by you. Because Chiron at 7 degrees Aries is asking you to bring that story into the light of consciousness today, not to fix it, just to see it clearly. Second, ask yourself, where have I been waiting for permission to be joyful? Where have I been telling myself I'll allow myself to expand when I'm healed, when I'm worthy, when I've earned it? The Leo Sagittarius fire trine today is telling you that the permission is already here. The expansion doesn't wait for the healing to be complete. The joy is the healing. Third, pay close attention to any creative impulse, vision, or sense of excitement that moves through you today. If something lights you up, an idea, a conversation, a direction, write it down. That's the fire trine speaking. That's the universe showing you the shape of your next chapter. Don't dismiss it as impractical. Don't wait until it makes logical sense. Capture it now. And finally, be tender with yourself. Yes, this is a day of fire and expansion, but it's also a day of vulnerability. Honor both. You don't have to choose between being powerful and being in process. You are allowed to be both. The wound and the flame exist in the same body. That is not a contradiction. That is the truth of what it means to be alive. The universe doesn't give you fire without reason. Here's something I've been sitting with today, and I really want to share it with you. The universe doesn't just randomly open up. It doesn't hand you fire for no reason. When the sky aligns the way it's aligning right now, Chiron and the sun in exact conjunction, a fire trine blazing between the heart and the horizon, I believe it's because you have been prepared for this. Something in you is ready for the next version of yourself. Ready in a way that your logical mind might not fully agree with yet, but your soul already knows. Today's astrology isn't about making you feel temporarily inspired. It's about seeding something permanent, a new relationship with your own pain, a new trust in your own fire, and the people who step into this moment right now, who are willing to look at the wound and also choose the joy. Those are the people who are going to emerge from this period genuinely transformed, because we are living in a time of massive inner reckoning. Old wounds, old identities, old stories are crumbling. And the question is, who is going to be willing to feel it fully and then rise anyway? Who is going to let their deepest pain become their deepest power? I believe a lot of those people are making that decision right now. And if you're watching this, I have a very strong feeling you're one of them. This is your moment. Don't let fear talk you out of it. I'm going to be honest with you. Stepping into the fire of who you actually are is terrifying. It means letting go of the version of yourself who survived by staying small. It means allowing yourself to be seen before you feel completely ready. It means trusting that the joy you feel is real, that the wound you carry is not your identity, that you are more than the story that broke you. And today, when you feel that pull toward expansion, toward something bigger, toward the version of yourself that doesn't apologize for how brightly they burn, there will be a part of you that wants to pull back, that wants to wait, that has 1,000 very reasonable sounding reasons why now isn't the right time. But here's what I want you to hear right now, in this moment. You will never feel completely ready. No one ever does. The people who transform their lives are the ones who move toward the fire anyway, who say yes to the vision even before they understand it fully, who walk through the door of their own becoming even when their hands are shaking. Today is that door. It's open right now. The sun at 7 degrees Aries is lighting up the Chiron wound, and the fire trine between 14 degrees Leo and 14 degrees Sagittarius is holding the flame steady. This alignment is precise. It is personal, and it will not wait. So if you have been waiting for a sign, for permission, for a moment that feels safe enough, real enough, big enough, this is it. This is the moment. And everything you've been through, everything you've carried, everything that has ever made you feel like too much or not enough, that was all preparation. That was all building the exact kind of strength that this level of expansion requires. And right now, the universe is saying, you're ready. You've always been ready. Now go. All right. If you're still here, thank you. Genuinely. It means something to me that you stayed with this all the way through. If any part of this touched something real in you today, I would really love it if you hit that subscribe button. It helps this channel reach more people who need to hear it. And drop a comment below, because I want to know, what wound are you ready to alchemize today? What joy have you been putting off that you're finally willing to move toward? Where is your fire leading you right now? I read every single comment, and this community is one of the things that genuinely lights me up. Take care of yourself. Let yourself burn brightly today, and I'll see you in the next one.